What's going on, Outcast? It's your host KSD TV, and here, welcome to the Diablo 4 beta experience. Now, I was pretty hyped coming into D4, and I wanted to show you guys what my experiences are during this beta. And trust me, these past 2 weeks has been fun, but man, can I tell you what, it's been very, very nerve-wracking. Now, in this current video, I'll be showing you some of the features and content in the game, as well as the bugs I have encountered during the game and a bit of the community's experience so far. Moving on to the actual gameplay, the first thing I want to show you is the combat system. There's been a lot of changes to the way the combat feels. Now, granted that it's been quite some time since I've played a Diablo game, since the last time I think, which was D3 back in 2012, and as well as Reaper Souls back in 2014. And that was also on the PlayStation 4. And I think you're going to love the new feel and look of D4. Now, I don't remember this being in D3, which D3 focused on crit chance and crit hit, but Blizzard added an older system, which is all the way back in D2, called critical strikes. Now, most players will recognize this being a skill that the Amazon class used, and now it's just a proc that all classes can have access to. This proc in D4 and is pretty much just a crit, just like in any other ARPG, but Diablo 4 really puts emphasis in critical strikes, that they are powerful attacks that can deal a lot of damage, and to a point where if you do come across a loading screen, they will even put it in bold letters, really emphasizing that crit strikes are highly apparent. It's how you deal the most damage, and it's not guaranteed, but they can be a real lifesaver in tough situations. During my playthrough, I was playing as the Sorcerer's class, which I chose the Lightning Mage route, which I made it my absolute goal to put heavy focus on critical strikes, just because that lightning and critical strikes dealt insane amounts of damage throughout my playthrough. Now, moving on over to the actual bugs. Now, these bugs were quite souring a lot of players' taste in D4, and even soured a little bit of my taste in as well, which kind of put me on a back burner of playing the past 2 weekends. Now, the major bug I've experienced, and I've seen, and I thought I was going crazy, but I've seen a lot of people go through the same bug as well, is that there were reports of Diablo 4 having a memory leak issue, in which people who would stream it through OBS or slobs would cause the game will still run fine, but it'll cause OBS and slobs to just automatically shut down. So if you're live streaming, you will see a lot of just the game just not like all your lives just boom getting cut right in half. I live stream on YouTube, so like you could see like 8 different videos or VODs of just me trying to hit go live, trying to figure out what's going on. And I struggle with that during this open beta and as well as this closed beta. Now, regarding the past weekend, this open beta test, Diablo 4 has bricked players who owns a Gigabyte 3080 Ti GPU. Let me re-emphasize that. If you own a Gigabyte 3080 Ti as your graphics card, be very wary. Be very careful of playing Diablo 4, because a lot of players looked up that their GPUs have literally just shut down and stopped working after playing Diablo 4. As of right now, there are no fixes or anything regarding these problems, and of course, there were lots of glitches and lags and stutters, but generally I had a good time for the most part. Now, moving on to the probably one of the more bigger features of the Diablo as a franchise is the exploration. The next big change in D4 is the way you can actually explore the world. In the past, you were limited to following pretty much a linear path, however the story tailored you to follow. But Diablo 4, you can explore the world however you want. You can go off the beaten path and actually explore brand new areas, or you can stick to the main story, and it's kind of up to you how you want to play it out. This design was very fun exploring, since this is by far the closest we will get to Diablo ever being a MMORPG, but we're going to kind of put it as along the lines of Destiny 2, which is like an MMO light. The way the 5 different zones you could play in, the seamless transition, no load times during crossing zones, having the players there with you, the cross-playing features, a lot of that. It will just put it as a light variant of an MMO. Now, the next thing that I actually genuinely like is the actual questing in Diablo 4. It's quite different from how quests worked in Diablo 3, but in D4, quests are more like stories. They have a beginning, a middle, and an end. They're not just about killing monsters. You also will be solving puzzles, helping people, and exploring brand new areas. It truly felt like every quest had some love to it, and now most open world games are quite known for these types of quests like Skyrim, Oblivion, The Witcher 3, etc. When the game fully comes out, we could truly see what it truly has to offer for these quests. One of the things I've enjoyed the most about Diablo 4 is the progression system. The game rewards you for exploring and completing quests, and you can always find something new to do. I also like the fact that the game is not too difficult, but it's definitely challenging enough to keep me engaged. Now, that challenging part may be a little bit on the fact that I chose a sorceress, which can deal a lot of damage, but is very squishy. I know people literally went through easy mode playing the Necromancer as of this past weekend. The bosses, of course, no Diablo game is complete without having a boss. Diablo 4 has some of the most epic bosses that Blizzard can come up with. These bosses are definitely not for the faint of heart. They're going to test your skills and your endurance, especially when you're doing your little quests. Some of those bosses definitely will test your grit. But if you can defeat them, you'll be rewarded with some of the most powerful gear in the game. Now, Diablo 4 is a massive game with a lot to offer. I can't wait for you to experience it for yourself. When the game drops June 6, 2023, with the 5 classes to choose from, me personally have not reached endgame yet, but I am quite excited to see what it has to offer. I'm sure there will be plenty of challenging content to keep all of us busy for hours on end. Overall, I am quite impressed with Diablo 4. Hopefully they can fix the bugs and the whatever can allow people to stream. Definitely fix the graphics cards issue. If there is a memory leak, definitely fix something. They got a couple months to get it figured out. This was still just a stress test to make sure the servers can hold up for all the players, make sure that players can test out all the bugs, and so they need to get this fixed by the time of June 6th. We do not need people who put a lot of money into these graphics cards and all these PCs, and your game is now breaking that said thing. Also, us content creators, people who want to actually create content regarding it, I couldn't even hit record on just recording. If I just chose just not the live streaming and just record, OBS would stop recording. It just could not handle the fact that Diablo 4, it only did it with Diablo 4. I've been making content for quite too long to only have Diablo 4 make this experience for me. But if they can get that figured out by June 6th, then we pretty much will have probably the best ARPG of the year, as we had Superfuse at the beginning of the year, and as well as Season 2 to Torchlight Infinite. Now, the big daddy of them all has now put his foot out, and Diablo 4, it will definitely be testing the other ARPGs that are planning to come out this year or the ones that are already out. It is a great game that I highly recommend to any fans of the genre. But let me know what you guys think. Did you guys play Diablo 4? Did you experience any of the bugs? If you're a creator, did you experience some of the OBS problems? If not, let me know what was your experiences. Let me know everything I want to talk to you guys about in the comment section below. Definitely follow me on Discord, because I like to keep up with you guys and talk to you guys about the stuff outside of just the YouTube comment section. Like the video, make sure to subscribe. It's been your host, KSD TV, here at Chaotic Inc., signing out. Peace.
I make them manifest. I don't sleep, that's so weak, don't plan to rest. I'm from a hood where you die if you don't pack a vest. No culinary degrees, but whipping crack the best. Chefing, hard times taught lessons. Praying every night to pull up in park Benzes. What's my home is what you call trenches. You wouldn't last a day seeing life through all lenses. It's all tension, no sun, and rain and plenty. Full-time job, still can never make a penny. I ain't rapping for clout, I know